Get a pretty good freaking game in the parking lot today, boys. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, does this remind you of home?
Pardon me?
Does this remind you of home, Minnesota?
Yeah, it reminds me. Yeah, it reminds me of why I moved to Colorado. Yes. Yeah. I take this in bits and pieces. This comes in November in Minnesota and doesn't go away until May. No, this is fine. It either goes away quick, and if it doesn't, we're going away on Wednesday. So hopefully the East Coast is a little bit warmer. Yeah. Good to see everybody working on this grand holiday, right? Absolutely. Yeah. The sports guys, there's no days off. No days off for the sports guys, huh? Yeah.
Did you want to start with something, or?
I did.
Okay.
How much more you need?
I didn't want to interrupt your message. Hey, 2 wins, and you'll have 500 career wins, and it could come against Army this weekend. It must mean you're a pretty good coach, huh?
Must mean I'm a pretty good survivor. Yeah. Must mean I'm a pretty good survivor, especially when you got more losses than you got wins. I already got my 500 losses. So, no, you guys, so, that's a tricky one there. Yeah. To be honest with you, I really don't want to talk a whole lot about it because those things don't matter. That just means that I've been fortunate enough to be around a long time, and thank goodness the academy has chosen to have me around this long, and we've had good teams, good players, coaching staff. Again, just been around a long time, and when you're around long enough, numbers happen. The most important thing is not number 500. The most important thing right now is number 499, and getting 3 more points up on the board. We've got a lot of goals that we've set as a team. We're playing pretty well right now. We're doing a lot of things well. We still got to improve on some things. We've got to get these 5-minute majors out of our game. In the last 4 games, we've won 3 of them. And we've had 4 5-minute majors and a 10-minute misconduct. 4 of those penalties have been in the third period. They have to go away. They have to go away. I mean, we're rolling 7s right now. We're 3-1 in those games, and it's just putting too much pressure on our penalty killing. It's putting too much. We're utilizing too much of the battery acid of our core players, our key players, the heart of our lineup, utilizing that battery acid, killing penalties instead of, trying to prevent the game losing goal instead of trying to score the game winning goal. And but I think, it shows that we're obviously doing a lot of things right when we stub our toe like that and put ourselves behind the 8 ball, and we've still won 3 of our last 4 games. So there's a lot of good there, and we need to feel good about that. But again, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And if we continue to take penalties like that, especially late in the game, it's going to catch up with us, and it's just going to catch up with us.
I wanted to ask you about Friday night when you put Blessing in. Took Balboa out. It was like a quick line. You don't usually see that with goalies. And then Blessing obviously bit it. What happened there?
Well, we had an opportunity to be behind the. Blessing lost the blade of his skate. So he came off, and it was going to take a bit to change it, to fix it. So obviously Balboa went in. And then when Bless came back, we had an opportunity to change. We were changing everybody. They weren't pressuring us, and we set up behind our net. So I just called Belbs, and he responded and came, and Bless went, and it looked pretty smooth until Bless toe picked and almost separated his shoulder, slamming into the net. But so I might think twice before doing that again. But yeah, it was good right up till the very end. It was looking pretty cool. You and I talked about that upstairs afterwards. Yeah.
Coach, you always talked about the importance of the Army game. Do you feel like you guys need to bring a little bit more energy now going on the road, and especially since you swept them last time out?
Well, we do. I mean, but we bring energy. Our guys try hard all the time. I don't know if you can try much harder. We can try a little smarter. I mean, again, 4 majors, 4 or 5 minute majors. I mean, come on. I mean, so I don't think we can try harder, but we better try smarter because if we take one of those in West Point, again, eventually you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and eventually these things are going to bite you back, and we have to get rid of that. We played them earlier in the year. They're a very young team. They've been older than us for a long time. Finally, the worm has turned, and we're a little older than they are, and we got them here a couple times earlier in the season, but they've improved a lot. They split with Holy Cross. They got a real good tie against Sacred Heart the previous Tuesday. They're playing pretty good. They're playing good hockey right now. They are, and they got a good coaching staff. Their kids are willing, just like ours, and they're going to get better over the course of the season. So we're going in there. We're going to be playing against a better West Point team than we saw in November. But I would like to think that West Point is going to see a better Air Force team than they saw in November as well. There's a lot to be excited about. These games are big, and anybody that says that they don't mean any more than all the other games on your schedule, anybody at any service academy that says that there's not a little bit more weight put on these games, they're either kidding themselves or lying to themselves or lying to you, one of the three. And no, they do mean more. We weight these games heavier. Hey, the 3 points here and the 3 points last weekend, it's the same 3 points. But when you're playing against that other service academy, there's a lot more on the line. Even nationally, people that maybe aren't necessarily a fan of the service academies or service academy hockey, when you're looking through the games on that weekend and you see, Army and Mercyhurst, maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, or Air Force and AIC, that might not mean. But when you see Air Force and Army, people are looking at that score. They're looking at that score to see which team comes out on top. And of course, Falcon Nation and Black Knight Nation, it means everything to those two entities.
Coach, I spoke to Guy last month. He said that you guys say rest is a weapon. Obviously, it's something you've echoed as well.
Does your microphone work, or is this just a prop? I
was wondering the same thing. But obviously, you guys have looked at over this break, playing the best hockey of the season. You guys have class starting tomorrow. How do you keep up that level, knowing that those guys are going to get back to the rigors of the Air Force Academy and won't be getting as much rest as they have been these last few weeks?
Right. I mean, first of all, we Army and Air Force, we're doing the same thing. We're getting up and going to school, Hugh, all we can do is try to balance out our practice schedule and where we're just, proportionately, hey, we've got to stay in shape. We've got to work on our game, but we also need rest. And depending upon the week, like today we had a day off. Last Monday was it? We were very fortunate to get a snow day, especially because our flights were late getting back from our games. But yeah, all we can do is just try to balance it out proportionally, and it is what it is. And the one thing that does help around here is when you have a veteran team, because the schedule, the rigors of the schedule, all that type of thing, it isn't as taxing on the older cadets as it is on the younger cadets, the freshmen in particular. So right now we've got a pretty, in most of the key spots, our fourth line, there's freshmen on our fourth line. There's a couple freshmen that are on our lineup on D, but we've got a junior goaltender. We've got a slug of upperclassmen on defense. Our top 3 lines are all filled with upperclassmen, and those guys kind of know, what they need to do to be able to get through a week and get through a week by, still getting staying up on their academics and what they need to do militarily, but also what they need to do to prepare for the games on the weekend.
Talk to me a little bit about Nate Horn. Had a slow start to the season. He's obviously scored, I think, twice in the last 4 games. Talk to me about him just getting that monkey off his back and getting into a groove again.
Well, Horn is a guy that he's a really good player, and he's a very useful player. And we were using him, but he's a really slight guy, and we were using him in all kinds of situations. And to be honest with you, like, I think he got worn down, and he just got worn down. He's still, even though he's a senior, he's still more boy than man. And he's been in the weight room, done all those things, but it is what it is. And I think he just got worn down. And it doesn't take much for a player, if you lose a little bit of your game, for you to, maybe not be as visible as you need to be on the ice. We took him off the power play, and he's just been playing a regular shift and penalty kill. And I think the energy level of his game, has improved by just reducing those minutes a little bit.
Coach, since the start of the year, your goal scoring is up, your scoring opportunities is up. Is there any reason to that, or?
You know what? Sometimes I just think it's luck. It's the bounce of the puck. We've played pretty well since the Christmas break. We played Duluth in Wisconsin, and we made them play their best hockey to beat us. We went up and down with them. We matched them shot for shot, and we just couldn't score goals. And their goaltenders were making big saves. They're hitting pipes. We're missing nets, whatnot. We went to Bentley, and the meeting that we had, I just said, guys, like, we can't get down on ourselves. We're getting chances. Our goaltending was fantastic. Blessing was giving us almost 93% goaltending. Toll made a good comment at that time. He said, if he was 1-3 and giving us 93% goaltending, if we were 3-1, he might be player of the month in college hockey. And the pucks just weren't going in. Our special teams were good. We were blocking shots like we were doing everything right, but the puck wasn't going in. And I just told the guys, like, we can't push the panic button. It's when you're not getting real good it's not when you're getting good goaltending and not getting chances. That's when you need to worry. Because if you're not getting goaltending and you're not getting chances, then you simply ain't good enough. And we're good enough. We just need to wait for the worm to turn. And it did that the Bentley series. And we came back and we got goals again in the first game against AIC, and not so much the last game. They out special teamed us, and we didn't get on the scoreboard but once. But with that, it's kind of all come together. We've won 3 of our last 4 games, and we need to go on to West Point. We need to find a way to get it done and get some points again.